Hi, Mindful Schools community. My name is M. Morrison. My pronouns are she, her. I feel really grateful to have been asked to share something for you through the Mindful Schools blog. So we're going digital, we're going video this time. And I want to offer you some mindful movement practices. Mindful movement practices are really important to me when I'm teaching mindfulness in schools because our students just sit so much. They sit so much and they're already in their brains so much at school. It's really nice. I love to open a mindfulness practice with some mindful movement to kind of help them get back in their bodies. And you may find you really enjoy it too. All the movements I'm going to offer, you can do wearing just regular clothes. Your students don't need yoga mats. You can do it right in your classroom, even if you don't have a ton of room. And all the movements can be adjusted for students who don't want to sit stand or might have a physical limitation. They can do them seated if they'd prefer. And like everything we do at Mindful Schools, to keep this trauma informed, make sure that students have choice. If there's a movement they don't want to do, maybe find another stretch or tell them they can just stretch their body however they wish, to keep the whole class kind of moving and engaged, but allowing students to interact and engage with a physical practice in a way that feels safe and comfortable for them. So let's get started. A lot of these movements are taken from the Chinese energy practice of Qigong, which basically means life energy. There's so much that could be said about Qigong, and I will leave it to you to look it up. But if you really like some of these exercises, please YouTube Qigong. That's how we spell Qigong. And you can find so many more movements that are really, really great. So the first movement we'll do is with the legs about hip width apart, the knees slightly bent so you can be relaxed, taking the hands into a basket right at the bottom of the tummy, and then bringing the hands up while you breathe in, right around like you have like a beach ball in front of your belly, and then pushing down, and then bringing the hands all the way up over the head, maybe looking up, and then breathing out as you press them apart around your body. So one more time, breathing in, circling your hands around the beach ball, breathing out, pressing down, then breathing in while you bring above the head, and then splitting the arms apart, tracing a circle around your body as you breathe out. And I like to do each one about 5 times. The students may giggle, they may feel weird moving in front of their peers depending on age level, or maybe they're little ones and they just love moving their bodies and being wacky. Whatever works. It's meant to just kind of bring them a little more in relationship to their bodies. So the second movement we'll do is just a smile and shake. So we've seen that shaking helps us release our stress response. So what we'll do is bring some shaking into the body to kind of help the body wiggle out our stress. So I like to start by shaking at my knees, just really gently, a little shake at my knees, and then slowly my shake can get more intense. So now I'm shaking through my hips, my arms are kind of going, and I'm gonna bring just a little smile on my face. You can close your eyes or not. Some of your students might get really into it. They might give it like a huge shake, or you can just kind of relax like this, a good shake. I like to go for a little longer than the students think is normal. Just keep shaking and breathing. You can swing the arms a little. And then this would be a good time to cue them. Notice how you feel. So you can come back to stillness. They can close their eyes or maybe just cast their gaze down. Maybe have them call out. What sensation do you notice in your hands? What do you notice in your feet? Do you notice any heat? Any coolness? What are the sensations you notice in your body? So we can always be bringing mindfulness back in. We might get a little wacky while we're moving, start making jokes or laughing, but always providing that opportunity to check back in. So let's do another one. In this one, we'll engage both the legs and the arms, but if a student wants to sit, they could just do the arms, that's fine. Or if a student has a broken leg or something, they're welcome to just do the arms. Bringing the legs a little wider than hip width apart. And then the knees will bend a little bit. And as the knees bend, this is called drawing the bow. So it's almost like you're drawing a bow and arrow in each direction. So making peace fingers with your left hand, and then you're gonna draw the bow with the right while you look over to your left. And then breathing out as you come back up. Come to the middle. You don't have to use these kinds of hands. You could just bring the hands down and back up. And then drawing the bow again, looking towards your peace fingers, and then coming back to the middle. Students could touch their heart in the middle or something. I just do this out of habit, but the hands can go wherever. So that one more time looks like this. And then making sure they're breathing in the middle. All right, let's do another one. Yes, let's do some nice qi showers, which you don't have to call qi showers because you probably won't be explaining qigong. But it looks like this. I like to do this to end a practice. So, and you can do this with students however you want. You can say, hey, let's take all of the positive energy that we are generating in our mindfulness practice or in our classroom, and let's just shower ourselves with it. Or you don't have to say anything, and you can just say, let's do this with our hands. I like to bend a little bit with my hands, go down, bring them around, and then turn the palms to face me, and go right down over my body. And if you have little ones who can't be quiet and can't move that slow, that's okay. You can be a little quick with it, like, woo, let's feel the energy. Or if you have students who are falling asleep, you can bring the energy up, or you can go nice and slow, especially if there's a lot of anxiety or really intense energy in the class. And students don't have to close their eyes. Okay, so those can be repeated as many times as you want, just to get students a little more into their bodies. So this mindful movement is also a game. I like to use it sometimes before a test or a quiz because it's a good focusing practice. I also like to use it the first time I introduce a new group of students to mindfulness. I like to just play it and then have them tell me, so what does this have to do with mindfulness? And like to elicit their answers. So it's called the quarter pass, but you don't need to use a quarter. I've used a paper clip before. You could use a dice. You could use a scrap of paper. Get creative. The point is it's got to be something small that can fit on the back of your hand. And something that's not too sticky. You don't want Jell-O. So the way this works is tell students to get in a circle. So imagine we have 4 other students over here, and that the ground has hot lava, and it's going to melt whatever is in your hand. So you need to keep it off the ground, and that they can pass it to each other using only the backs of their hands. Those are all of the rules. So they just have to use the backs of their hands to pass the quarter. So they'll start passing like this. They'll go all the way around. They might get really creative with it. Sometimes I see students do this. They start to pass to each other, like back of hand to back of hand. Let them get creative. It's super cool. It's also hard, and it makes them laugh. And they'll go all the way around as many times as they can. And that's just the quarter pass game. It's super simple. It's just a good focusing practice. That's also a body awareness practice. Thanks, Ashley. Thank you for watching. I hope you get to use some of these in your classroom and enjoy teaching mindfulness to your young ones.